Okay, we'll fix that when we get to it. Alright, it's nice, clamp tight there, clamp this down, and that shouldn't be in the way. There we go. That's going to look a lot better than if we just said, oh well, and not clamped it. You see how my drill went like that, so we know that's tight. Now we get to mess with this other one. So I loosen that up till I'm ready. So drop this down. And I don't want, which means there's a slight angle perhaps right there. Okay. We can live with that. I went ahead and clamped the top because we have this piece here to keep it from spreading out and should keep things from moving. There we go, my drill moved in my hand. There we go. Or if we do, when we take this out, then we're going to have to fix it. So putting the bottom one in first, probably should put the top in first. Moved a little bit on me there. So if we have a gap when I take this off, we know we have to fix it. Alright, so we have no gap. So that thing's probably dead square because of the way we made it. A little bit gap on the front. Looks good there. Looks good everywhere else. We've got a nice face frame. Now we need to attach it to our case. Okay. Here. This particular flush trim bit has a bearing, like they all do, and it's a 1/4 inch shaft. This one actually has a 1/2 inch shaft. So if we change this bit out, we need a 1/4 inch collet. This is a collet here, and we would put that in and change this out. The reason being, sometimes you got to be real careful. This little Allen bolt here can become loose, and that bearing will come off, and then it's going to cut into your wood and make a mess. Okay. Now we can start putting glue on our case. First thing I do, I start with the bottom and make it flush with a little bit of overhang. There should be equal overhang on each side of the case, about a 1/16, no more than a 1/16. Where your rails are too long, you could always go cut new rails, make them a little shorter. If you have a 1/4 inch overhang, you risk when you flush trim routering chipping out a whole chunk of this style or this style. So 1/4 inch would definitely be the max overhang on a side, and a 1/16 is about right. That looks real good. Don't worry about the top, because we can move this to the right or left once we get this attached. So our dry fit looks good. You have to have a nail gun. So this is a brad nail gun. Make sure it has brad nails in it. Always point it downward when you push this shut. And it should be 1.25 inches. It'll be fine for our face frame. Spread your glue out. A lot of cabinet makers aren't using glue now to attach their face frames. They basically pocket hole on their sides that are hidden, or on the inside if it's not a hidden side. I'd say we need a new glue bottle, at least a new cap anyway. If you put too much, you're going to have a lot of squeeze out and it's going to be a mess. If you don't put enough, the glue will not hold the face frame on. With screws, we don't need we don't need glue. but the glue would help reinforce the screws. Glue is stronger than wood once it's dry. We can now take our brush again, or our finger. You see, I didn't clean it earlier, so now it's kind of stiff. But you want to flatten that glue out so you get an even spread. And have a wet paper towel handy for your squeeze out. If you know you got too much, just brush it on like so. And I'll get a paper towel real quick. Wipe some of that excess off there. Okay, we've got more than enough glue on there. If you already have drips, go ahead and wipe them up. Glue is really hard to get off once it's dry. So now, make sure you don't put it on backwards. And the front is the non-rabbeted side, facing up. Start with your bottom. Slight overhang right here. Check this to make sure there is some overhang right there. We don't want it down below that piece there. And that's looking really good. I can come down a little bit more. Okay. Need to plug my air hose in. Pull back on the spring clip. Push in with your wrist. Shove. Slide the spring over. That attaches real nice. And let's see. We're still good. Just press. Right in the corner, not too far over. Don't want to blow out. Nail straight down. Don't angle your gun this way or that way. Catch your other corner. Do the same thing. Okay? Then we have a spot here. And about right there. Thus I took my free hand and held pressure down. Now I can just turn my case. Don't have to get up and move. And get equal overhang. See how it's pushed over a little bit? So I want to slide it that way. That's going to stay in place. So now we can square everything up and get equal overhang on each side. Just want to make sure I have overhang on this side as I pull. Corners again. So should have a little overhang all the way up and down. Looks good. And here, right there, nice and straight. You got to think about the thickness of your wood and where it is underneath this piece. If you go too far one way or the other, you're going to have your nail blow out. On this side piece, you definitely don't want your nail blowing out to the outside because we're going to flush trim now here in just a second. So one there, and one right there, and that's more than enough. We'll take a nail set and punch these down in a little bit later, fill those with putty, sand them, and we won't see those nail holes. Okay. Ideally, we should wait for the glue to dry before we flush trim router this nice and flush. That way it will keep our bit from getting glue on it, for one thing. If you got any squeeze out, wipe it up now before you run your bit across there. Okay.